Hey, can y'all hear me? Okay, sweet. What's up, everyone? Let me share my screen. Oh wait, actually, let me share this thing without audio. All right, what's up, everyone? All right, and what was it? I did something yesterday that helped. All right, full screening helps, right? I think that's what people were saying yesterday. And the quality, I think, is better. Oh, goodness. All right, I don't even know what to do. I guess you can go look through some individual tickers. Well, actually, I guess first we can start with futures, with the overnight. So obviously overnight we sold off really big. Anyone who does standard deviations, we actually had some really good ones. With I think Calf drew his a little different than mine. He must have drawn his like this maybe, because he said his 3.5 hit, whereas for me, I was drawing it based off of this wick here. The reason I did this one was because that was actually the ES swing low to swing high. So like structure wise, that's what's matching between ES and NQ. So that's why I drew it there. And then so the -4 hit and we got like an 100-point bounce off of that. This was also a major level from the past. So if I zoom out here, you'll see this wick down here on NQ. So that combined with the standard deviations, like this was a pretty nice overnight trade. The overnight, I don't trade like close to the open typically, but to me, this one was was a pretty nice setup. And then what time? Yeah, so for ES, like we have a huge like NQ just swept this double bottom. ES swept that long time ago. So again, big divergence here, but that's been the norm lately. Okay, we can go back to the 15-minute. So that was one play there. Now that this reaction already happened, I don't really have any kind of bias left. So we'll just have to see what happens as market opens and as the heat maps reshuffle. But yeah, this move went for I guess like 100. What is this? 130 points if you use the NQ just support resistance level, and then even if you just use the -4, -3.5, it still went like 100. All right. So yeah, other than that, I don't have much bias. Know if Atlas price charts is fixed. What? The Atlas had an issue. Oh yeah, it had an issue yesterday. I had already logged off for the day, so actually it hadn't impacted me, but I believe it's fixed. Let me go check Slack. I think it was fine. I think we had a latency issue, so I don't know why, but the developer hasn't replied. So let's just assume for now the issue's still there. I think if the developer replies, John will update it to show that that's been fixed. All right. So I guess other levels we still have. So actually, ES hit this wick. ES hit this like 7700 Psych level, which is also where we bounced on the 19. NQ didn't quite, actually like barely missed its level up here. Like here. Actually, that's basically it. That's basically a tap there. ES actually did hit it. And that's where this push upwards has ended. So NQ, if NQ does not hold this 240 level, that's pretty concerning from like a bullish standpoint. Because that was that big, again, the higher time frame double bottom. So that's something to watch out for. I think John's levels that he sent out said the same thing. I think he was saying basically if we fall under that, it's going to be quite bearish. All right. Any questions or anything like y'all, individual tickers y'all found before market opens? King node rolled up on SPX. Oh, what? Oh, to 7740. Yeah, but we're still at 7710, so we'll see that this can be a huge gatekeeper and keep price down. But yeah, 7740, 7760, those are both levels that if they continue growing. But I don't really go off SPX alone. Like I know some people do. I have very little experience doing it, so I don't really go off SPX in pre-market. All right. What's the tool I use to draw out standard deviations? That's just the fib tool. So if you press Alt F, or if you the other way is just click the little pencil and go to the fibs. You just draw it out. Your standard fib is going to be different. If you want to copy this, just screenshot what I'm showing here. Well, don't screenshot this, but like basically what you have to do is go save a layout and then set up your 1 to 0, -2, -2.5, -4, and 4.5. I think CAF also draws the 3.5. I don't, but yeah, it's up to you. And a lot of people also draw the 2.25 and the 4.25. I also don't draw those. Yeah, no problem, wannabe. All right, yeah, let me flip to the individual tickers, and we can do this for, what time is it? Yeah, we can do this for 15 minutes before market opens. BE, wait, I don't have extended hours on. Yeah, I was gonna say BE double bottomed yesterday. It looks like it's come down and hit that again. This is a really light level on the heat map. Like there's really no volume down here at 200, but it's a very big psych level. So honestly, yeah, if you want to call this like a liquidity sweep and potentially push up, BE doesn't look too bad. This map is not great though. Like we really don't have a floor here on the GEX. But yeah, if you want to play just off the psych level on this sweep, then I can see that. But since we don't have much GEX confluence for the bounce, obviously we have the pull upwards, but we don't have much confluence for a bounce. So just probably size a little lighter. Hims at 30. Yeah, if we manage to retest 30 and this dark pool, then Hims can be pretty good. All right, wait, let me turn on extended hour, sorry. Oh, we might have already retested 30. Okay, this will be really annoying if they bounce the pre-market. But yeah, keep an eye on the. I will say, like with this kind of push, right? We've pushed $4. We've retraced very little of it, right? So like risk reward is way more limited versus the playoff 28, let's say. So that's one thing to note here, right? This is still a continuation play, like a break and retest. What's going on with SPX spot price? Is it wrong? I don't know. What is it supposed to be? I'm actually not aware. Can XBI push up to 174 through 170 king node? Maybe Baker Rock, but for now 170 rejected very cleanly actually. So no, I mean, and even 168 has some volume. So we'll have to see how this reshuffles, but unless 174 takes on a ton of volume, 170 looks like ceiling, or even 168. I think Netflix has just been running. I don't know if you can really play this. It has a pretty good reverse rug actually off 80. Same kind of deal as Hims though, right? Like it's already pushed so strong, so just recognize that the risk reward is a little more limited here. So you can still take it. Okay, this 125 node is false. It's 918. Oh, that's next OpEx. Yeah, but like, yeah, if we retest the 80, I guess you can play off that. Or if you want to be safer, you wait for 79.5 where you actually have a chart level. But yeah, like these, these tickers where they run $5, pull back $1, and then you play the continuation, those are always going to be riskier. Market didn't open yet? Yeah. Wait, was that for me, Ken, or for somebody else? Yeah, I guess ASTS off this 64 dark pools looks okay, but it's a lot of overhead, positive volume. I guess if you're saying the rug pool, that probably looks a bit better. If you're playing a rug pull off 60, oh, this already bounced off 6-7. Like this what happened yesterday. We got that drop off 6-7. Yeah, I don't know if I like ASTS as much. We did break this level down here, so I retest it. Oh yeah, maybe you can play rug pull off 66. I definitely like it a little less. SPXW. Oh, yeah, the SPXW, the heat map will adjust the gamma, but the price won't. I've asked the developer. I don't know on like the data package. I don't know. I'd assume they have to buy some extra data package, but I've asked them to see if we can get like SPX 24/7 basically, so we can actually see the nodes and the the candles and all that. But I'm not sure if that's actually possible or if it's just better to do ES because SPX is always going to be a derived price, so it's going to be a little bit off. ABBV, if this is a breakout, I'm probably not going to say too much about it because that's not what we preach to trade. But if you're saying a breakout on this, like what? I guess if we go test this level again in triple top, I don't. Is that your thesis? Not sure. But ABBV is currently like stuck between all this volume. So this 250 will continue shrinking, I'd imagine. You see how strong it was the 17th, and it's just been shrinking throughout the week. So yeah, I'd expect the 270 is probably going to keep growing as the week goes on. Hood off of 100, like maybe this level here, you're saying? Yeah, it looks fine. I would think the 90 volume, that one keeps dying off. Because we got delivered from that node, so I'd expect volume. What you'd want to see here, right, is 100 continue to grow and all these negatives as well. You get potential reverse rug pull. Apple. Apple. Yeah, Apple off 315 looks okay. Apple had a big push. It may need a bit more time to consolidate. Oh, we'll see. But 315 is definitely there. Bull, yeah, Bull with earnings obviously had a huge push. Yeah, Bull, we just have to see how it opens up and reshuffles. But yeah, for anyone, yeah, I didn't buy Bull shares sadly, but I have some long-term play on it. Microsoft looks very clean. Are OpEx nodes also a suspect when they have? Yeah, it's still the same because OpEx still stacks the majority of the volume. Like even if you have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the majority of volume is stacked on Fridays anyways, especially OpEx days. So it's not that we don't trust them, right? Like we trust them, especially these on Microsoft where price is actually like they're actually near price. The reason we say like don't fully trust OpEx nodes or like check the chart for context is when they have some huge faraway node. So similar to what we had, not similar, but like no, it wasn't ASTS. What was the BE maybe? No, there's some other ticker I looked at that had some huge upside node. Oh, Netflix, I think. So Netflix 125, like it's small now, but this had to have been a very strong node in the past. So that's what we mean when we say like don't trust OpEx nodes. Is like just keep in mind that like Netflix tanked on earnings, so then that node may be left over from before earnings, whatever. Like that's what we mean. It's not that you just neglect all of them. But Microsoft, this looks like a very good range actually, 480 to 490. So if we can retest 480, we have a couple dark pools down there. The support resistance wise, this doesn't look very clean. Like we've actually already undershot it and bounced off 479 quite a few times. But yeah, potentially 480 continues strong. We can maybe get a bounce off that and some of these dark pools on Microsoft. I don't know what this candle is, but I guess we rejected 490. This looks like a fake candle. Volume profile, I don't know. It may not work until open. ServiceNow, from a retest perspective, I don't think it's coming back down to 120. Maybe if 125 grows a lot more, that can be a potential like intermediate bounce spot. If not, this 130 rug pull with the double top, this was a very clean play. What time did this happen at? This happened at noon yesterday. I'm surprised nobody. I don't think I saw anybody chatting about this. This is a very good play, actually. So yeah, we'll see. Now, if now comes back up and hits this rug pull again, it's the third tap, so I'd just skip it. But that was a very nice play yesterday. And obviously the 120 bounce up was also a very good one. But the thing is, like, this was right out the open, so it was always harder to catch. Whereas this one, you had a lot more time to prep and get ready for this rug pull here. All right. Any other questions? Actually, we'll go get some. I'll go get some water real quick. All right. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I don't think my audio is going out. I don't think my audio is going from my headset. What the fuck is the? Wait, sorry. What is the point of my microphone messed up? Give me a second. No, I know you can now, but like I stepped away and was talking, and I don't think y'all could hear me. But I had my earbuds in, so I don't know why. Like it says my mic is coming from them, but apparently it's not. Whatever. I just won't stand up again, I guess. All right. Yeah, we just let market open. And let's see what happens. Let me see what is going on today. All right, CAF sent some gap fills out. Doesn't look like anything super strong. Okay, and I think the latency issue is fine. So I think we're fixed up, which is good. All right. Yeah, we'll just watch futures while market opens. When is market open? Like 2 minutes. Actually, let me flip to indexes. Then I'm gonna bring up. Where's my futures tab? Oh, here it is. All right, so again, the like 200 to 240 level, we need to watch out with that on NQ. Hopefully stay above, and then we'll see how the maps open up after the big. There'll be a reshuffle, obviously, with the gap down. We'll see. Check MU. Yeah, I'll check MU, and then I'll probably focus on indexes while markets open. First opens. MU. I guess 930. What the heck? Guess 930 here is what you'd be looking at. This is not a great level. I mean, it's a bit. You have a reverse rug pull 935, 930. We do have this little bit of volume down here, 910, 900, but say that's what I'm seeing on MU. The only thing on MU is 950 has grown a lot. So it could be potential rug pull. Or not rug pull, but just hinder upside. But we'll see. All right, let me flip to the indexes. Market opened. All right, so we got our gap down, hit previous day low. And then QES is well below. Let's see. So we have SPY once again in a ton of positive volume. SPX, we have lower floors. Let me zoom out so you can see them all. 7650. We also have a gatekeeper 7675. Not a strong one though. And QQQ is not telling us much. Not as extreme as yesterday, but QQQ is a little similar to yesterday. You have very strong upside node and then just a couple nodes under its potential floors. So yeah, we see if the SPY positive stack can. We're kind of just in the middle of it actually, but SPX we have the 7675. That's about it for now. Like our stronger floor is definitely down here on SPX. If we drop down to 7650, that'll probably align with QQQ, one of these floors. On the upside SPY and QQQ, we have these levels that are limiting, like 714, 767. So let's see here. Yeah, it looks like for now, this 767, like this sort of reverse rug pull on SPX is holding. But yeah, I'll just let this reshuffle a bit more before we do anything. All right, NQ getting a big push. So yeah, this NQ overnight play was great. Like this is already up almost 200 points. But obviously you have to hold to the open, so there's that risk. $767, $714 putting in some upside resistance. Looks like for now, price is waking a little bit off that. Yeah, see what happened. Let's see what happens. Sorry. So you're getting a bit of a reaction off the 714. It's still too early to like. I don't usually trade till later, anyways. But yeah, SPY. This unless the 760 grows, SPY is putting in another huge positive node day, which is annoying. QQQ has a lot of negative volume though, actually. 711, 714, and a lot of these are air pockets, but they're still slight negative. So let's see if QQQ. This what happened yesterday, and we still had pretty nice movement. So most of that is attributed to QQQ having a lot more negative volume, and SPX as well. I think yesterday. All right, let me expand. Hello, lovely. How's it going? But yeah, for now, just let this sit a little longer. TX even has this weird node all the way down here, actually. 7585. It's way too far out, but it's interesting. Yeah, and SPY we're right at the midpoint, right? 767, midpoint of like 764 up to 770. Sitting middle of the range. So it's not giving us too much info. We came from below, so it's possibly reject off, but actually, yeah, what you can do is maybe the 7695 combined with 767 and the 714. You can call these all ceilings. SPY is the only one that's not like showing that as a great play just because it has further volume upside. But for SPX, we have a little bit of volume upside, but the majority of volume is downside. Like this is our final like upper major node. So I could see a slight justification if you want to call these all ceilings and then go short. Which I think the 714 tap on QQQ. Yeah, I guess we're $1 off of that, like downwards. Apple ran without you. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see if Apple can retest 315, then maybe we get a re-entry there. Oh shoot, indexes are now squeezing. Let me see. So actually the 7650 is losing volume. I know it says plus on the 10-minute, but it's actually lost like a quarter of its volume on the 1 or 5-minute. So 7695 growing a lot. 7690 actually just pushed in, so a new positive node there. So potential if that keeps growing, that can be they're slipping a floor in, right? And yeah, again, so SPY this huge 769 volume. That aligns pretty well with this dark pool actually. There's a dark pool like 20 cents under. All right. 714 still sitting at that level. But yeah, if those the SPX downside nodes keep shrinking off, then this is looking a lot stronger. 7740 is growing a lot on SPX. So yeah, we'll see. We're still hovering within like that. Well, we're a little bit above, but we're like around the 50-cent buffer of 767. So we're just sitting there for a bit. I have a level drawn here on SPX. I don't remember why. Oh, well, this is a level. Yeah, we held as a bottom quite a few times. Potentially flip that one. And on futures side. And then on futures, actually, oh, I missed this completely. But on futures, there was a swing low at 445 in the morning. It looks like that's where price is struggling. That low is there on both ES and NQ. Yeah, I might have to just start showing futures levels when I stream, especially like the very close to the market open. All right. Yeah, so 7690, this one's kept growing, right? If you see, this is like a completely new node, like when you see a velocity that high. Since they pushed us up, and maybe trying to slide a floor in there. So let's see if that helps it retain like upwards momentum. Right. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just gonna wait a little longer. I don't trade until later anyway, so that's why I'm not. That's also why I don't have too much to comment on. All right, if we start dropping lower, let's see. Yeah, they overshot the 714 pretty steep. Hit the dark pool, and then we're getting dropped down. SPY 767. Yeah, we're just kind of hovering around there. And the 714 as well. On the downside, they popped in an extra node actually. So what was previously a 2 positive node stack is now 3 on SPX. They killed off this 7740. Yeah, SPX is in this really big cluster. Like this whole like positive negative cluster. It's not helping with these reads. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait a bit longer, honestly. Like I don't really like what I'm seeing. All right. So we're just hovering around all these nodes for now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty split on like my bias here. So honestly, just do nothing. The reason I'm split, so SPX has a lot of downside volume, right? But it has a reverse rug pull here, which looks like it could be like holding price. 767. Well, initially it looked like it might be a ceiling, but now it actually looks like it might be a floor. And then you have the 769 above. So like SPX and SPY, where price seems to be getting pulled, is opposite directions, right? SPX has major downside nodes, SPY has this upside node, and then QQQ just has nothing, right? It just we're at like a major flip point, and then either side has roughly equal levels of volume. So yeah, that's why it's leaving me pretty indecisive. So we'll see. It looks like 767 is getting claimed a bit. Like we did push above and retested it, holding it. But again, yeah, I'd rather just wait till 10 and see if we can get something that's a bit cleaner. But yeah, if we do start pushing upside, SPY is obviously limiting. Like if we do get like a further push, SPY 769 with the dark pool will limit that, or should. We'll have to see. There's a few SPX nodes that are like lingering right on the fringe of, will they matter or not? So if those grow as well, we'll have to see. But yeah, we're just sitting at these nodes right now. This is pretty boring. Yeah, I guess this is also another example of like you do get a lot more overnight movement, and now you do get like very healthy overnight movement, and sometimes that leaves New York pretty tame. At least for now. $760. Yeah, actually, that's a good catch, Forbes. That air pocket has been filled. Like they're putting in some volume there. Actually, that's a really good catch. Then that sort of killed off any kind of move there. And at least right now, we're getting another day where QQQ is moving a little better than SPY. We'll have to see if that holds. Like obviously yesterday that was definitely the case, but it's only been 20 minutes so far, so I don't want to like declare that definitively yet. But yeah, at least for now, it's moving better. Off that dark pool, got a pretty good rejection. But yeah, we're still sitting on a ton of that 767. We're still sitting right there. So on QQQ, we're getting a bit more volume coming in. Well, as we've dropped, so part of this is natural. Like as we drop, the downside nodes will grow. We're getting 709, 711, a little bit more growth. Yeah, SPX has still had that. Actually, yeah, so SPX is now slipping into 30 and 35. It was previously just two nodes at 45 and 50. They slipped in 40 big time. Now we even have these lower two growing quite a bit. We just the 767 is really like the big, well, even 765, like those are both hindering like this big SPX downside move. So from the beginning, right, SPX had this volume, looked a bit more bearish. SPY had this 769 though, looked a bit more bullish. Until, as Forbes pointed out, 768, sort of slid it in. Yeah, so then yeah, Forbes. But we're still within that 50 cent range of the 767. So I wonder if they still make it pretty stubborn there. And QQQ next downside that can hold will be the 711. What you'd be looking at. They're still trying to hold that 767, but it's definitely getting weaker. Just tailed off a bit of volume actually, in 769 grew a bit more. But yeah, this it's not like a pretty clear triple positive stack on SPY above. So it's gonna be tough for SPY to get any kind of further move up. Pretty ugly maps at the moment, not gonna lie. Yeah, so I mean honestly, like the best play at the moment would have just been support resistance flip on futures. Like if I flip over to futures, you'll see this immediately. We had this again, this full like this 5 a.m. low, 4:40 a.m. low. Super clean rejection off of that. So yeah, I guess it's another proof, right, of the value of checking futures. Yeah, futures down like 100 points off of that. All right, yeah, SPY huge. They've pushed more volume back down to 767. So you'd want to see that continue to happen. And even some growth down here at 765. 760 looks a little bit too distant, but 765 would be good. We have a good air pocket under. And then just watch out this QQQ double bottom. Actually, I don't know if this already hit. Wait, let me check. I think it missed by a little bit on NQ. So I don't. It's probably one of those cases where NQ hasn't actually double bottom, but QQQ has. Like there are times where we have those slight differences. All right. Oh, 712 just popped. Oh, QQQ. Wait, why are my nodes in wait, they're in absolute value, I just realized. Wait, give me a second here. I don't know when I made that change. I must have been testing something yesterday, but all right, so yeah, 712 just popped. We're hitting 711 right now, so now it's a double negative stack there. SPY's being really stubborn. Like we're still hovering. I mean, we're a bit like 40, 50 cents under 767, but we're still hovering around this area. So once again, a lot of divergence. And yeah, 768 keeps getting stronger. So SPY is looking less and less likely. Like it's giving more and more of a ceiling. So that would combined with our SPX downside pull. I guess even this QQQ 714 at the beginning of the day, giving quite a few confluences for downside move. Yep, 760 is pushing a bit more volume. Still weak. Like 765, I think we'll still gatekeep that. And even some of these negative nodes on QQQ can gatekeep, or even 709. But yeah, definitely keep your eye on 760, because if that thing keeps flaring up, then it may be cause for concern. But for now, it's looking a bit too distant. Too distant. Yeah, so here's that 712 finally popped up on Atlas. Obviously, like on the heat map, we'd been seeing it a while ago. But yeah, it looks like those are they're holding for now. I don't like this divergence is really being annoying. Like QQ double bottom big time. SPY's not even close. And now actually we're getting a huge push in volume. 766 is now stepped in on SPY, which was previously an air pocket, right? So now they I mean, yeah, there's an air pocket to upside 769. They killed that with the 768, and now they've killed this downside air pocket with the 766 node. Yeah, holy. Yeah, SPX is just in this big cluster negative volume. Yeah, I haven't liked anything at all. Like today, this has been. I've not liked this. All right, keep eyes on 766. So it grew a lot. It's tailing off a little bit. So you'd want to see that stick around to reduce downside risk. So let's see if that one keeps growing or not. All right. What the? Yeah, I don't even know what to cover right now, I'll be honest. I don't know, are there any questions? Like right now, this is pretty boring price action. All right. Oh, so the 767 is tailed off again. So that air pocket is back. Even the 765 has gotten a little weaker compared to 760. 759 is growing now, so we have quite a bit of downside growing on SPY. Still have a lot of SPX volume and QQQ volume that can restrict that from happening, though. What are these? Ceiling rolled down to 712 potentially, but we're still above it. So actually, I'm looking at 712, 711 more like a floor. And so like first tap down. So 711 was there previously. 712 grew, so we had like a double negative. And so like on this 950 candle, it did bounce price like a pretty healthy amount. So we'll see if it goes down there, if it does it again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, QQQ's actually a ton of volumes coming in on 708, 709, and 710. If all these positive nodes keep growing, this is going to turn into like a huge reverse rug pull on QQQ. We keep seeing growth across all of these. And also, so the more growth we see on this reverse rug pull, actually the sketchier this SPX downside becomes, right? Because this will prevent that from happening. For now, these negative nodes still holding on QQQ. So they're putting in pretty good work on those negative nodes. And then SPY has not strayed. SPY has not strayed more than like 80 cents from this 767 node. Yes, I guess they retested 767. So I mean, if you're bearish, I guess you can go off one of these retests on SPY for downside. Oh wait, the hell happened in SPX? So SPX ton is down 640 to 650 just got killed. Got a ton of growth up here, 7700 Psych level and 7705. Did these downside nodes get killed or did these upside nodes just grow? Okay, it was just so these upside nodes just grew out of nowhere. 7700, 7705. So huge, yeah, you see like these nodes just popped up out of nowhere, full king nodes. So it's not that downside shrank, it's just that these nodes came out of nowhere, which is very curious. So I wonder if we go back up there, tap those nodes, get like a double top high a day on SPY, SPX, that would be a really nice opportunity. That's very bizarre. The manner in which these grew, right? I mean, these went from 1 to 30 million in just no time. So now we have SPY and SPX, like with upside blockers, QQQ with more downside blocking. That's really intriguing. I wonder if they killed that volume off on the SPX ones. All right. Still holding 767 as a ceiling. This is like the biggest reaction we've had yet. See if we can get further. 765 is gone now too, so we have like a lot of space downside. So main blocker of downside now is just QQQ. Previously, SPY was helping a little bit. Now it's just QQQ. Even SPX has killed a lot of this volume off. So with the growth of these huge nodes, what it did is it basically shrank off the percentages on everything else on SPX. So that's why these nodes down here went from king node to 50%, and then everything here in the middle that was previously hovering like 40% is now shrank off towards just on the fringe of will it matter or not, basically. But yeah, at this point, if we keep going down, you're just looking for the QQQ to hold. Not a ton of confluence, but that is a huge amount of nodes there. Volume profile. Simon, can you DM that to me? I can't fix that, but I'll just have to forward it to the developer. Or actually, let me just message the developer now. Guess that's easier. You said volume profile is not working on SPX. Volume profile. All right, they'll look into it. I don't use volume profile myself, so I can't really check that. All right, so QQQ, we're back down at this double stack of negatives. So we see if that holds again. SPY. So previously when we first tapped these, SPY was like a lot higher. Now we're actually dealing with. Oh shoot! Do I have these? Whoops. Now we have SPY at like a double bottom, right? So a bit more confluence than before when it was just sort of QQQ going solo. Yeah, thanks, Simon, for the feedback. Okay, the snubble negative held really strong. What the fuck? Sounds like $1 already. Yeah, I don't know. Out of all the days this week, this looks terrible. All right, I'm gonna go look at like individuals or something. I don't want to like waste y'all's time, so we got to do something here. All right. So Apple not yet, but Apple's getting close to that 315. If you want to be safe, you wait for this 314 wick to get swept, then look for maybe upside. So this one doesn't look too bad. Why did I get scrolled out so far? Just gonna check random tickers at this point. Nah, Snowflake too far. If anyone has tickers they have eyes on, we can also just look at those. But yeah, the indexes were boring me out my mind. So BE actually have 200 ended up working out. I know someone had mentioned this pre-market. I forgot who it was, but hopefully you had the alert there. So yeah, again, at the time it didn't have any volume. Like when I checked pre-market, it looks like they did slip in. They did slip in this value here at 200. plus the Psych level, plus this double bottom. So it looks like 200 BE reacted pretty nicely. Yeah, okay, so Cisco off 110 is a great play. Where did it go? Yeah, this one's really nice. Same kind of deal, right? You have nice double bottom. Why is my oh, there we go. Nice double bottom, huge 110 node. Even this dark pool, I guess, has a small confluence. Yeah, I don't even know what else to check. AV go. I'm literally just putting random tickers in. AMD. Nah. Orbeez hasn't moved as well this week as it usually does. Okay, so SoFi was a really nice one too. Basically just double topped here. Huge 19 level tapped. You have huge air pocket down to 18. Don't hold till 18. Like we have all these dark pools that can potentially reject, so you kind of just probably be trimming as this goes down. But yeah, SoFi moved really nice. What else do people usually play? No, not Lyft. It's not one. Oh, Rivian. Rivian will move really nicely at times. So Rivian's in a really big rug pull right now, actually, with these double dark pull levels. And I think even a bearish fib retracement. Fibs. Yeah, I'm usually bullish on Rivian, but this actually looks pretty bearish with the 16, 15, 16 and 15.5 rug pull. Like long term, I'm not bearish at all on this, but for a scalp, this could maybe work. Yeah, I'll check back on Rivian later. This one doesn't look that bad. All right, let's see indexes. All right, index, it looks like SPY held that double bottom. Now it's running into this big double stack on the upside. QQQ also running into that 714. It's a lot of upside blocking right now. SPX, the ceilings are a little higher, but we have this bit of a gatekeeper here, 7685. But it's mostly SPY, QQQ are what putting in the ceilings here. So QQQ, we got to within 50 cents of 714. But yeah, this is a pretty ugly day, I'm not gonna lie to you. So we'll see if these ceilings can hold a bit more, but yeah. SPX flipping all the volume from downside to upside is not it's not helping the bearish case for sure. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the double positive on SPY with the QQQ negative node, there's a bit of confluence for downside. It would have been a lot better earlier if SPX still had that big downside volume, but SPX flipped all that volume to upside, so it's not as good looking as it would have been earlier, but I don't know, like it's probably one of the better moments we've had today. We have not had many many good moments at all. Yeah, I don't even know what to think today. Like today is just not great. Yeah, look, if you'll notice, 766 is now coming back in, right? So 766 sliding back in is going to give more trouble for downside move. So I'm like very hesitantly bearish. But yeah, it seems like the 7705, 7700 levels ended up being not real. Like obviously they're real if they showed up, but they stuck around more. I was curious if those are just going to flare up and then just disappear just as quick, but they definitely stuck around. Heading back down to the double negative on QQQ. Yeah, if this keeps up all morning, I guess the PM session might be very nice, but I'm hating this right now. All right, so it looks like we did hold in the ceilings. Got a decent move down here, like $1.50 maybe. So who said this? Yeah, so Petiti's like, yeah, you identified probably one of the only like half decent moments I've seen during the day. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean to me, it's playing out, but this is not like a great compared to most days. Like you can usually find a cleaner setup, but today has just been pretty ugly. But yeah, I mean you picked out a good moment. And for whoever was asking about the volume thing on SPX, apparently you have to use futures. What people are, I don't know what that's what the developer said. So if Qs are approaching solid area for reverse rug at 710, but that 709 area is solid double bottom, which am I more likely to play? Since they're so close together. Wait, 709 being a double bottom? Is this some old level? Or what do you mean by 709 being double bottom? Forbes. So as long as 710, I guess while you answer this, LSL. What is that? London session low? Oh, actually, right. Yeah, the London low for futures is at like 240. 29,240. Oh, let me think about that. That might be one where you want to scale in. Like you may want to put half a position or a third of a position on like 710, 710.5, and then just add a chunk if we get a little lower. I would say if you want to be safer, I'd just go with the futures level. Like the futures levels will usually be pretty spot on. So that'd probably be my answer. But yeah, it depends. Like if you have a smaller account, you have to pick one of the two. Just pick the safer one. If you're able to scale in, then you can always just put in a chunk early and then chunk in the rest after. Blanco, the puts work. Yeah, the puts did work. They, I mean, they're making it take forever, but yeah, this did work pretty well actually. So I guess a big part of it, right? Like as compared to earlier, like SPX cleared out a lot of volume, so it's giving it a lot more space to move through. The 766 is what scared me out of it. Like that one was I saw growing a bit, so I was thinking it was going to restrict and move down a bit more. Looks like 765 is now going to restrict it. Like that one's growing a bit, but yeah, like the move down definitely did play out off this 767, 714 retest. This is still just a very compact range for New York morning session. Is it really this easy? Some days, yeah, Blanco. I mean, usually if you can wait for like the good moments. I mean, this is the best moment of the day. I would say this is like the greatest trade I've ever seen. But yeah, if you can wait for the more clear moments, it's not that it's easy, but like they do tend to be a bit simpler, some of those trades. But no, I'd say today so far has not been easy. I think yesterday was a bit nicer, or Tuesday. One of those 2 days. This is the one I'm thinking of. Okay, great, Blanco. That's what I love to hear. Holy crap. Okay, so we're getting a big bounce here. I guess the 765 they pushed in, and then the same double negatives on QQ. So these double negatives on QQQ have been pretty stubborn. They've given like 3 bounces, honestly. We have one week, like $3 plus bounces. Unique man, your inputs. Unique man, tell me a little bit more so I can see how I can help. But I assume your inputs, and then this push up killed the profits. Or I guess you can also DM it to me if you don't wish to share here. Yeah, 765 continuing to grow. If we push much higher, we'll be getting back into that SPY QQQ 767, 714 situation. Yeah, what a weird day. And I guess as another comment, like this is also where when you have especially double negatives, right? So double positives will usually not hunt too far through it. Like usually you can play the as soon as we reach it. Double negatives, a lot of times you have to be a lot more cautious and wait for a bigger undershoot because they will give some very violent like undershoots and then bounces. So kind of what's happened here like 3 times today. Holy crap. Okay, this is a very strong bounce. All right, so see if these levels hold a second time. We still have all that positive volume here on SPY. QQQ again, we didn't fully tap. We got to like within 40 cents. But like on both sides, so QQQ has tested the 711 3 times by now. It's also tested the 714 from below quite a few times already. So like when you have this kind of range where you just keep tapping both sides, like it gets riskier and riskier with each tap to keep playing it, right? But see, for now, it seems like we're still holding them. The SPY QQQ confluence. So we'll see if we get any follow through here or not. SPX has been like useless all day, I'll be honest. Like I guess we had the first 7695 rejection, and then all the volume has been way too far out to really matter. So it's been QQQ SPY driving everything. Yeah, and so SPY, that 760's gone completely. All volumes rolled into 764 to 768. So we're just in a huge positive stack on SPY, which is not not a great sign for the day. Maybe give us a pretty bad day. That holds if this holds all day, but that's just how it goes at times. All right. Yeah, getting a bit of a reaction down there. I'm not checking options chain. Actually, let me open an options chain. I don't need like a move like this. I don't even know how much you can scalp on it. I'll be honest. If your timing's very good, you probably can get a solid 30% or so. Those levels have held again. So the double, so Blanco, Petites, the setup y'all were pointing out earlier. We just gave a second one. Yeah, let me go try and pull up. Let me pull up my brokerage so I can actually like see how significant these moves would be on the options chain. But yeah, so far this is an extremely compact day. Oh, I forgot Robinhood doesn't show this well. Let me go check WeBull. Okay, for sure this would have been 30-40% by now. Why is my... Yeah, sorry, give me a second, y'all. My thing's loading really slow. Okay, so I think on... How do I open... I don't know how to use WeBull. It's looking like it went from like maybe 20-30%. Maybe a little bit more. Because yeah, we rejected what, 713.5. I mean, we got $1.50 there, so another decent move off these 767, 714. Yeah, I mean, I've been calling out what I see, but that's about it that I've seen. That's probably been the best setup. So still going a bit. On futures, it's like 50 points. So a decent move. Unique man, you never answered, but depending on the, well, just DM me. But depending on your entry, I think yours got killed on the first one, but this could have been a second try. It would have worked out. And then, yeah, we're once again hitting the double negative on QQQ. SPY, we're now also hitting a ton of positive volume, right? 765 is where most of it's consolidating for downside. So I guess we need like a new low of day for that one to be like at its prime spot. And then as well, if not low of day or even just like near this bottom, then that would be also QQQ undershooting the double and potentially bouncing there. But yeah, I think but both like the downside bounces and the upside bounces, they've both been tested quite a few times. So I'm pretty hesitant here also just from a TA perspective, right? Just been tested too much that can potentially fail. Think what we can do. All right, I'm gonna flip to individuals, go look through Jules' watch list, and then maybe can get something there. But yeah, this has been, yeah, holy crap. Very compact range. So again, on days like that, you have to be very disciplined with how you're taking profits and all of that. But yeah, wow. All right, Hood, they killed off this 100 node. Wow, they killed Hood. 94 Gatekeeper, very risky, but Hood, well, I mean, I know I said I didn't expect 90. I actually didn't. If this somehow flushed all the way down to 90, you can look for further play. What's the Vex say? I guess the Vex is still saying 100, or 90, sorry. How's WeBull doing? WeBull's giving back a lot of its earnings move. 9 is giving a pretty strong support here. WeBull usually moves like trash, though. Has $10 going into next OpEx. Yeah, probably stay away. What other tickers do I even look at? I think my list is too big. Airbnb, is that a nice reverse rug pull? It's been a long time since I traded this. I also have a few dark pulls there. Accenture, I don't like this setup at all. Adobe. Adobe had a nice dark pull with the reverse rug. A-firm, I haven't liked how it moves in a long time. This might be one of the worst maps I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why there's so much gex everywhere. A map looking like it has a pretty good support flip to resistance at the 500 Psych. I guess, yeah, this is already a chase, but maybe something to keep your eyes on. Oh, okay, Amazon was a nice move. It bounced a little early, but Amazon, yeah, this is basically only volume there. Came down, tapped it nicely, bouncing up. Yeah, ANET, this double bottom looks okay as long as this 187 tails off. If it stays weak. It's a nice air pocket upwards. Huge rug pull on ASTS. I think someone had mentioned this, so this one just flushed right out the gate. Huge ceiling on BABA, actually. The VEX pointing down. Not very strong, but it is. Yeah, maybe Baba for downside, or you wait for the 120. This is a pretty nice level. Has a lot of volume over 5 expirations. 120 level is pretty interesting on Baba. America looks terrible. Yeah, the BE off 200. There's a bit of a reaction. Now it seems to have stalled out. Huge reverse rug pull on Baidu. Actually, yeah, Baidu's coming into this reverse rug pull. This could potentially be a nice play. Does the VEX support it? We do have decent VEX, actually. 100 next week, 104 week after. Baidu doesn't look terrible. I don't know. I don't think I've ever traded Baidu. I don't know like how the options are on this one. Let me go look. Baidu, like I don't think it'd be too expensive, right? Calls. So if you're looking like 2 weeks out, 104, 2 weeks out, like 90. They don't seem too bad, honestly, these prices. Just never traded this ticker, so now I'm not too sure. Might be worth a try if any of y'all have more experience with Baidu. See if that reverse rug pull holds. You'd want it to dip a little deeper into it. Right now we're right at the negative, so it'd be nicer if we dip a little further, but maybe take a partial or scale in a little bit more after. All right, let's see if indexes are. All right, indexes catching a bit of support here. I don't even. Does anyone else have questions on indexes? I don't even know how much more else I can say right now. Like, this has just been bad. There's just been a couple rejections down. That's about it. Like, again, Petites, Blanco, y'all caught. I don't know if you caught it or not, but you noticed like good move there. So that one happened twice, and that's it. That's been the whole day on this. I don't know. I feel like I'm wasting time if I keep looking at this. So I'll just keep going through individuals, and if y'all have anything to say on the indexes, if anything changes, just let me know. Otherwise, yeah, it's just no sense in me sitting there looking at it for y'all. So that's why I'm going through individuals at this point. But yeah, it's been bad unless it's unless you're playing some kind of like data positive strategy. But most people don't do that, so it's a ton of reverse rug pulls. BP also has one. This is like a gap and go, so I wouldn't really trade this one though. Oh, now. Oh yeah, so someone pointed this out in pre-market. So yeah, now definitely this is now the third test, right? So we rug pulled yesterday. We have this high from August 13th. So this is now the third test of the level. It does look very nice though. So, but since it's the third test, I'd either skip or size down because of that. Yeah, like this is, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it would like open up a bit more as an hour passed or so, but the indexes are just bad for the moment. So I mean, yeah, it'll happen, I guess. Well, I always tell people, right? Like the heat maps, obviously very good at telling you when it's a good moment to trade, like when is a good setup. But it's also good at telling you when is a bad day. So you have to also be able to assess this is not a good moment and just focus on individuals or shut it off or whatever it may be, right? But don't always assume they're gonna have a great move, even though usually morning time you'll have at least one solid move. Um, there's a reason we say usually, right? It's not always going to be the case. BX, I've never traded BX either, but this is a very nice air pocket between 140 145. This one dropped right out the gate, so you couldn't have really caught puts on this 145, but if we managed to get down tap 140, could be nice. What was the one? Oh, C also has this one already bounced. All right, see, I already bounced off this reverse rug pull. The 131, 132. We basically hit the midpoint and got a bounce. That would have been a good one. So again, NQES, they had pretty significant moves, right? Like, so the best index move, well, I missed the drop. Well, let's say if you didn't catch the drop, the best index move, well, the drop was significant as well. Then best index move was actually the, I'm blanking on the word. Oh, the standard deviation bounce that I covered on the pre-market. Like, that to me was actually a very nice play. That's it. That bounce happened, market opened, it had a little bit of continuation, and then the market's just died since then. So, but yeah. Anyways, Meta, the heat map looks bad, but if this is a higher time frame thesis, let me see. Top, are you going off this level here? Or maybe this one down here? I assume you're going off the higher one? So maybe that combined with like a fib retracement might be your thesis? I don't know why my meta chart is so cluttered. I have a ton of levels on this. But yeah, if you're doing maybe that level, so the low from June 24, along with the fib retracement here, we're hitting the 0.786. Yeah, I can see that thesis. I guess the VEX is overwhelmed by this week's OpEx. We do have pretty nice volume for next week, next Friday. Up here at 600. Yeah, Meta doesn't look too bad. You'd have to check the more expanded VEX. Like, go check the VEX map with more expirations. But from first glance, yeah, this looks solid. All right, indexes are once again hitting our resistance. So let me flip back. At this point, I'd be pretty hesitant to try this again. Like, this is now the third tap. Oh, SPY has actually changed. So SPY lost the 767 that's been there all morning. It's now up at 768. So it seems like SPY is, it raised the ceiling. Looks like it can potentially go higher, which if we go higher, that would align nicely with the rug pull on SPX. The problem being 714 is still there, and it looks like it's still rejecting price. So SPY looks like it's allowing a higher move. So I would not short this at all now, because you've lost the SPY QQQ confluence, and so the SPY ceiling has rolled up, you've lost the confluence, and we've already basically had this move. Honestly, there's two that we saw, but there was honestly a third one that I didn't even notice in the moment. So this is a fourth test of this level. So yeah, SPY, the downside node has become king node, but in terms of what are we actually reversing off of, that thesis has weakened. No, so the ceiling hasn't rolled down. The ceiling went higher. This is just volume has rolled down for sure, right? 765 grew. But the ceiling, like, it's not like 767 ceiling moved down to 766. Yeah, but it can't be a ceiling if we're above it, right? That's a floor. Like, when we say ceiling or floors roll up or down, it's not just that volume goes up or down. No, you're good. But you always have to be thinking, where is price now? What can we reverse off of? So, like, on the upside, previously we were rejecting off 767. That was our ceiling. Now that we've come up again, this is gone. Our new ceiling is up here 768, if that makes sense. So it's not even that the ceiling rolled up, it's just that the 767 ceiling just disappeared. So again, the 714 is still there. So I'm not saying like I think it's going to go all the way to 768. There's a higher likelihood. If we do get up to 768 or even like to the high of day on SPY, that will look a lot nicer to short, because at that point, what would be happening is we're tapping into this ceiling on SPY. SPX is getting towards this rug pull here. And QQQ would be overshooting this negative node, maybe even tapping the dark pool again. So there'd be quite a few confluences for downside. You have a nice SPY downside target. Oh, give me a second, y'all. To get more water. still hear me now? I'm pretty sure my All right, so yeah, we're prices pushing higher. Let's see if we can. These confluences stay. I think we do have a pretty good short opportunity. This pushes up a bit more. Yeah, y'all couldn't hear what I was saying like 15 seconds ago, right? I don't know why. I have earbuds, but the microphone is still through my laptop. I don't get it. All right, so we're hitting the 714. SPY SPX, you'd still want to go a bit higher. So it depends how you're trading this. If you want to be safe, you're waiting for SPY SPX ceilings. If you want to be a bit more aggressive, maybe you scale in a partial position on QQQ ceiling, and then once we hit the SPY SPX ones, you scale in a bit more. But looking at here, doesn't look too bad. And then again, for the rug pull, like this is definitely early if you're playing the rug pull on SPX. Rug pulls, you want to, the early aggressive entries on rug pulls are actually the negative node. The safe entries once you're getting closer to the positive, or at least overshoot the negative a little bit. So that's, I'm personally waiting to see if we get a little closer to the SPY SPX levels. But we could reject early just on this QQQ. That's perfectly plausible. Looks like we are. Wow. Okay, looks like we are. Okay, we got a tiny reaction. So let's see if that's, see if the QQQ will hold strong or if this wants to go higher before rejecting towards the SPY, SPX. Yeah, and also chart wise, like either a double top on SPY or QQQ would be nicer to take the entry. They may not give it though. I mean, yeah, this is down 30 points on futures already. So they may not give any kind of double top, which this sucks. But so yeah, only the more aggressive early entry would have been in. But you know, if you're being more cautious, you never really got the entry trigger on SPY SPX. I've gotten full dollar basically off QQQ. Damn, so it's good reaction. Just thought it would. Well, I wanted it to wick higher to get in on with more confidence from SPX SPY. All right, just let this move continue. For downside, yeah, once again, you're looking at the double positive, triple positive on SPY. You still have the double negative there. That's it. You're really seeing if we can get down there, tap those, catch another bounce up. Yeah, this is a very dull day. Yeah, what time is it in US? Almost 11. All right. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. Does anyone else have questions? I really just don't know what to say at this point. We've done. There's been a little bit of movement with what we have, but that's I think that's about it. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss what to do here. I feel like it's not much very. It's not being very informative either for anybody, just because nothing's actually happening. Why is this thing? That's my watch list messed up. Oh, there we go. Oh, mRNA. Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't trade it. I'll check it in a second, but usually when things have big moves like that, it's almost useless to trade. Same as like with earnings. Like when things gap up or down after earnings, there's really no. For two reasons. Like one, the maps need to reshuffle. Two, just from like a psychological perspective, right? Things move that big, people know they're either going to be trying to chase or they're going to be saying like, "Oh, this moved too much. We're going to short it, whatever." Like the market will just kill both sides a lot of times. Like so they just also like with mRNA, right? The IV is now spiked. There's just a lot of reasons why I would just avoid anything that's already ran or just had big news and had a huge move. Cores looks okay off 18. We can go down double bottom. Oh, this rug pull is actually really nice. What is this Coupang? Yes, Chinese company, I think. It's actually a very nice rug pull. It's weird. Did they drop all the positive? Was this a bug? This must have been a bug. He dropped all the positive volume for like an hour and a half yesterday. I don't know why, but yeah, he went into the double positive, rejected off that. That's a pretty nice move. 225. We missed 225 in the dark pool by like $1, $2. CRDO. I think Turth had posted some bullish flow on this as well. This would have been a really nice play. And maybe with the flow, you could have gotten in a bit early, but I would have been waiting for this 225, which sadly never hit, but it's a pretty nice map. All right, Tomakase, I haven't answered your question. I'm getting to these questions now. Yeah, again, mRNA, I don't really know what to say here. I guess 120 is the low of range, so you'd wait for that. But again, like contracts are going to be spiked. This was a news move. There's not really much to do. Like the big value is already gone, right? The ticker doubled in price. So yeah, you can usually just save yourself the time and effort of going through all that. MU, I think someone had asked pre-market, right? So, wait, if I need to check the recording. If I said 930 on this bounced on the dot on the reverse rug pull. Well, it undershot it like $1. I need to check the recording after I do this. But yeah, so basically I had a reverse rug pull 930, 940. A big push. I thought 950 would actually stall it a bit more. It looks like it kind of just blasted right through it. Well, I had this one candle where it retested it. That's about it. It looks like we then swept this 960 wick, and that's where it's been having trouble getting past. The VEX, where's the VEX on this? So the VEX is pointing way higher, but we did get delivered from these levels up here. So I do not think we're going back to 1,000. These nodes to me up here are just leftovers from before the gap down, or it's volume that's gonna roll lower and lower. So I think the 930 bounce was very nice. Yeah, I don't think anything further is happening. Are we in RR? Oh, it's not a reverse rug. I mean, you could play the retest of 950 if that's what you're asking. So retest 950, play the bounce continuation. But yeah, to me, the trade was off 930. This would have been like, what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes after it opened? I'm going to go check that recording. If I said what I think I said, I'm about to I'm about engagement farm with this. Yeah. any other questions? We can just turn this into a Q&A. The indexes are like, this is almost, it's not even almost, this is literally just like a waste of time for me to keep doing. Yeah, if you caught 933 to 950, that's a great trade, Tomakasi. Actually, Tomakasi, can you send me a screenshot of that? I'll just make a recap about your trade. Yeah, I'll see. Oh, man, I really hope I said those things in the pre-market. I can't remember what I said. Yeah, Tomakasi on Discord, just send it to me. I've done it in the past where like I'll recap a setup, but then I don't actually trade it, so I just use someone from the server, like their screenshot. Because otherwise people on Twitter get all like, they get all crazy, right? And they start calling you a capper. Wait, sorry, Dama. So floors on SPY, ceiling on SPX. Yeah, it was previously 765, so it looked like 766 was given a bit of room to go further down. Now they kind of have that as a triple node. QQQ, we're at these double negatives once again. SPX, yeah, I mean, like we have what, like 10, 15 points of upside, but we've just been dealing with it. Honestly, like QQQ has just been ranging us all day. 711 to 714, it's just been back and forth between those two all day. SPY, SPX have like reshuffled quite a bit, especially SPY. Like it's jumbled stuff around, whatever, but it's just been QQQ back and forth. Issue here is, again, each test, now it's getting weirder and weirder to, not weirder, like riskier and riskier to take each trade. Oh, Sling, in Nexus, can you reverse the order of the options chain? Oh, I don't know. I don't even know. How do you use Nexus? New trade. Oh, it's all this. I don't know what all this stuff means. I don't think so. Do you want that setting, Sling? Like, is that something a lot of brokerages allow you to flip it. Why is Nexus? Oh, never mind. I see what's happening. How do I just delete something? Like, I don't want to see open interest or volume or bid and ask. Data? No, I don't even look at data. I just look at IV. Oh, so actually, in case anyone's curious, like on any brokerage, I haven't used Nexus, but if I were to use Nexus, on any brokerage, the only stats I look at are last price, delta, and IV. And I don't even pay attention to IV much anymore. So like all this other stuff is just noise. Like I mean, unless y'all use theta, vega, gamma, like I don't look at any of that. Volume, open interest. I'll look at that a little bit just in terms of flow, but on the options strikes, like I don't really care about that. I guess you can have volume on just to make sure it's like a high liquidity strike. So the bid ask isn't terrible, but like, yeah, just as a general comment, I keep my, like when I'm trying to assess a play to enter, I need it quick and simple, right? So I just look at the delta and that's it. And I double check the IVs under 100% for individual tickers. Indexes, it's never going to get that high, but individual tickers, I do prefer that it's under 100%. But yeah, and the reason I use last instead of bid or ask, like it doesn't really matter because you're going to be limit buying anyways. Can you not limit order on Nexus? Okay, this probably looks pretty bad. I don't know how to use Nexus, but puts. So if I want to buy puts, you can't limit order? Wait, are we for real? Oh, I had no idea. You gotta just. Okay, I'm probably missing something. I'm gonna go back to the maps. I don't know how to use this thing. All right, looks like yeah, again, this double negatives holding price. We didn't even fully tap 766, so not much confluence. I guess we had 7685, like if you're playing that bounce, but yeah, this is just a pretty ugly day. Yeah, Sling, can you DM that to me? We definitely can do that. Well, I would imagine it's not that difficult to change, because I know most brokerages allow you the option to flip it. Why do I look at IV? I don't actually look at the IV percentage. I just, if it's over 100%, I know it's a very high volatility ticker and there's like a higher chance you're going to get IV crush. So it's a general rule that I try not to trade tickers over 100% IV. But there's been times I do that. Oh, okay. Is there news? I think there's news. I don't know what that candle was right there. Okay, so now we're hitting these ceilings that I had mentioned earlier. But is that news? I'm pretty sure that's news, so I don't even know if I want to trade it now. That looks like a news candle. Just judging from the futures behavior. Yeah, it's definitely news. Well, this is really annoying. Okay, so we're actually hitting our SPY SPX ceilings, overshooting the QQQ, but it's on a news candle. So then now, wonderful. Yeah, I don't really know what to think here. We are getting the wick to form. Oh. Okay, yeah, Bessent is talking maybe. Yeah, just no trades. No trades, y'all. Might be one of the most boring streams ever. So the rejection is working though. So even during like news and all that, like a lot of times the maps will still work. The reason we still say don't trade them is just because they can also reshuffle like very, very rapidly. So the thesis you had can just completely disappear in seconds. So this reaction is occurring. Yeah, so again, it's super unfortunate that the move happened during news, but that's sort of what we were waiting for the whole time, right? See if we can sweep Pio Day on one of these, hit the SPY SPX ceilings, QQQ overshoot, and it's a pretty small move, but yeah, we definitely like on futures, 57. Futures got 40 points, so small scalp there. But yeah, if Bessent's talking, then just ignore everything, y'all. I'll just log off, wait for the guy to stop talking. I don't know, go cook lunch or something. Or honestly, we can just do like office hours if y'all want. Like I don't know. I don't even know if there's much point. I don't know if anyone has many questions from today. It's just compact range, sitting around waiting, and then now Bessent started talking, and now we're getting to move. So, oh, Market, I didn't see the second part of your question. How do you decide for limit orders? That's not an exact science. So the way, I guess the advice I can give is like, one, you need to know what's your average drawdown, right? So like if, let's say, I'm a new trader and I'm going through all my limit orders, whatever. I don't know exactly where it is. If I look at all my old trades and I sit through 40% drawdown on every trade or most of my trades, that means whatever price I'm entering in at, I can get probably a 20 to 30% discount, right? So then that's actually what I'll do on the limit orders. Like I'll look at a moment I feel like I would enter the trade or just ahead of where I'd enter it, right? Like if price is approaching your level, I just look at it and say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna set a limit buy for the same contract at a 20% discount, right? Um, and then, so the reason I say it's not an exact science is because some people have better timing than others, right? So if your timing is very bad, you may have 50% drawdown on all your trades. You may have to limit buy very extremely, like down 30% discount or something. If your timing is very good, you're dealing like with 20% drawdown every trade, you limit buy a lot less aggressively, right? Maybe you're just doing a 5 or 10% discount. So a lot of times you can base how much you limit buy off of your statistics on your average drawdown, like your average max drawdown per trade. But this is something that will improve over time as well, right? Like the more trades you take, you'll get a better feel for, are you usually doing it enough, too much? Because if you go too aggressive on the limit buys, you're going to miss every trade. You're just never going to get filled, which is also fine. But with time, you should settle on a nice midpoint, if that makes sense. Okay, so this trade did work. Okay, yeah, this is like insanely annoying that it was when Bessent was talking, but yeah, this is the trade I mentioned. I don't even know how long ago. Yeah, what? So futures down 80 points now. AM settled, PM settled is, I think, with OpEx. Like when you're dealing with OpEx contracts, you need to make sure that you're buying AM settled, PM settled. I don't know. Oh, is this something he sent out? I don't know. I don't know what announcement he sent out, but yeah, this it happened while the guy was talking, which is annoying. But this is the setup I mentioned like 30 minutes ago that we're hoping would happen. But yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Stream is boring, but you're up 3%. Oh, nice, nice Texas. Really nice, actually. On a day like today, on a day like today, you take anything. It's very nice. Oh, yeah, actually, I didn't even know that. Unique, man. Yeah, Texas. If you're going for anything more, you could have maybe snuck 30, probably 30% on a few of these. But until this candle here, you would not have caught more than 30%, I think, even if you're being super pinpoint. This candle here, you probably did catch a good amount on this puts. Yeah, I botched my play on this, but whatever. I think I stopped myself out by like 2 points on NQ. Oh well, it'll happen. All right. Yeah, so SPY's dropping. So I guess you'd be looking at maybe 7,685 and this positive note 766 along with the double negatives to catch price again. This is some of the most range bound price action I've seen in a while. Increased buyback. What? Oh, something Bessent said? I guess. Got you. Thanks. I don't even know what to call you. 12 harmonics. All right, yeah, with Bessent speaking, there's quite a bit more reshuffling going on. But the negative nodes going, we're getting close to the SPY, so maybe price can catch a bounce here. But yeah, I mean, anytime someone like this is speaking, it's always, of course, going to be a riskier moment to trade. So either skip or size lighter, but yeah. Let's see if this, so this is the same level that bounced price at just before 11. So let's see if we catch another reaction here. So cool, we have a small one going. Looks like the wick is definitely forming there. So let's see if we get continuation or not. So yeah, I mean, yeah, really funky day. I mean, there has been some opportunities though, but yeah, it's been overall kind of a funny day here. Let me see. QQQ, they are dragging quite a bit more volume down. We're hitting this SPY level now. 766 basically tapping here. So let's see if SPY can slow down this downside move. But yeah, I guess the puts off the news, that would have been the best play of the day. But obviously with the guy talking, you can't really, you have to either size small or just skip that. So let's see if SPY gives some relief here. We also took out that wick from 1035. Routinely do buybacks go over 4 billion. Oh, I don't even know what that stuff means. And yeah, I guess it's bad. Yeah, I don't know much on the economic side of anything. Just purely technical, the way I trade. But yeah, I assume it's bad based on what's happening here. But yeah, regardless what he's saying, 766 looks like it's putting in some work as a floor. Let's see if we can get some continuation there. Gold spiked. I think I forgot who it was. Someone had been telling me they were bullish on gold for the past week or so, and I think they're up like very nicely. All right, we're catching this bounce here from the SPY positive stack, the negative nodes on QQQ. So even with all this like news nonsense going on, there's still some moves happening. They are very small scalps, but I mean, you kind of just have to be small scalping when you have someone, someone very influential speaking like that. Or something that has like big impact on the market, obviously. All right, so yeah, there's puts, calls. Big Treasury, buy QE. I have no idea what y'all are talking. I'm sorry. This is probably helpful to someone else, but I have no idea what y'all are saying here. Dalmo, yeah, very glad to hear that. Yeah, I was glad it was helpful. It was, yeah, funky day, but you know, you got to be able to manage the weird ones and the good ones. But yeah. So there's solid bounce there, 766. Yeah, true. OpEx is tomorrow. Actually, I'd completely forgotten. But yeah, that's probably a bit, should have been more aware of that. Yeah, no problem. Hope you have a good one. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Any questions? I don't think there's too many people left. Any questions? I think I'll probably log off soon. Maybe I'll shift over to like John and Jules, or maybe I'll like go work video, edit some videos or something. But like, I don't know if there's much else I can say. There were a few good moves, honestly. Like, especially once this guy started talking. I skipped this first put play because of him speaking. Oh no, actually, so like I tried it on futures, not with options because of he was speaking, and I fucked up the stop loss. So I actually got stopped out. But then this bounce played out pretty nicely. The shorts would have worked if I had a normal stop loss. I had a very tight one because I didn't check my settings. And then there were a few rejections off the 767 and 714 that were nice. But yeah, like apart from that is pretty cluttered morning. Yeah, I don't even know what else to check. Like there's not much on the individuals. I think there are a few that look pretty good. I need to start scanning those more in the pre-market so it's not jumbled together with all the index stuff. So it's a bit of a cleaner flow for y'all. But so I'll work on doing that a bit smoother in the future. Actually, Caterpillar I never checked, but it has a nice rug pull. But yeah, price action is very limited. There were a few good moments, but that's about it. It's a part of the game as well, right? You have to manage the annoying days. But yeah, PM, probably Garma or Jewel will be online, so y'all can just come and join them. And then, yeah, if there's no other questions, you can always just DM me if there's anything you need help with. And then, yeah, I'll do it again tomorrow. All right, everyone. If there's no other questions, I'll cut this one off here, and I'll try to post. There's a few trade recaps actually that are very good. I think the MU one, and I'll probably do a trade recap over this index one because this was something. Actually, both of these plays are working out, so I'll try to post a couple of those like more short-term videos. And then and then check Jewel. Jewel sent an announcement about some kind of giveaway or something. So y'all should go check that out. I think it has something to do with Instagram. So I think you might have to like follow or I don't know, do something there. But okay, thanks everyone. Hopefully it was helpful. And yeah, be smart the rest of the day. If it started out ugly, it may continue ugly, or maybe it opens up, but don't just stay smart as it goes forward. Okay, thanks all. Hope everyone has a good day.